was a good day all round at Pittodrie on Saturday as Aberdeen came away with a 2-0 victory against Kilmarnock. It meant that Aberdeen recorded their 5th successive victory for the first time since 2015, and it secured their place in the top 6. Aberdeen kept a 3rd clean sheet in a row for the first time since December 2020, and Duke and Bojan Majowski have now scored 15 league goals each for the season. On Saturday at Pittodrie, a very healthy and boisterous 16,248 fans were in attendance. I said it was a good day. After the victory, and coupled with Hearts losing and then sacking Robbie Neilson, Aberdeen went back into 3rd place. What an astonishing turnaround it has been since the turn of the year. 2 games to go to the split, remember? Next up for us, Ross County up in Dingwall on Friday night. Kick-off 19:45. And then we finish against Rangers at Pittodrie 2 weeks on Sunday. Kick-off 6:30. Hi everybody, a very warm welcome to Ali Beg ABTV this Easter Monday evening. I hope you've all had a very nice long weekend. How are you doing? That was good again on Saturday, wasn't it? And what about that start to the game? My God, absolutely unbelievable. And so many plaudits going towards Duke, which I totally get. But the work that Ryan Duncan put in as well to set up Bojan Majowski, who then played in Duke to score the goal, should also not go amiss. So a lot of people are saying, what time was it? 15 seconds or 16 seconds? So I personally timed it right from kickoff to when the ball actually crossed the line. I make it 15 seconds. So it goes down as Aberdeen's 3rd fastest goal in their history. It wasn't as quick as Adam Rooney's though against Hibs in the Scottish Cup semi-final back in season 2016-17. He only needed 12 seconds. And who will forget John Hewitt against Motherwell back in January 1982. 9.6 seconds at Firhill to beat Motherwell 1-0. And don't forget, that game set us on the path all the way to Gothenburg and then number 1 team in Europe. So Duke goes down as the 3rd fastest goal. So what's coming up on the show tonight? Well, it's very simple. First and foremost, it's all about you tonight. So do the usual. Get in touch. Tell me what you thought about Aberdeen's victory against Kilmarnock on Saturday. Leave your comments under the video. If you're watching for the first time, how you doing? You're very welcome. So all you've got to do, if you want to interact with everybody else on the live chat, just leave your comment. Please be respectful of other people's comments and please don't use bad language. And I will do my best to read out most of your comments this evening. I'm sure that most of you saw that the Lewis and Harris Dons Supporters Club made the long trip from the Western Isles to be at the game on Saturday and to also hand over their Player of the Year award to Duke. We'll have a little feature about that trip a little bit later. But tonight it is all about you, so please do get in touch. Shall we remind ourselves of the team that Barry picked? It was just the one change. It was Ryan Duncan that came in for Graham Shinney. So 3 across the back, 5 across the midfield. Duke just sort of floating in and around Bojan Majowski. But I actually thought, I don't know what you think, but I thought sort of Ryan Duncan was playing in that hole a little bit more than sort of playing in Graham Shinney's area. So yeah, let me know what you think. But that was the starting 11. So I thought what we'd do tonight is we'll start with, before we get to your comments and before we get to Barry's thoughts and all that sort of stuff and more about the game, I thought we'd pay homage to the Lewis and Harris Supporters Club, because that trip that they made over the weekend, my goodness, again, we spoke about commitment and, the lengths that people go to follow their football clubs. And some of the supporters clubs around the country absolutely just, it just blows my mind. It really does. And I'm absolutely delighted to say that they all had an absolutely fantastic weekend and they've received many, many well wishes, which I will read out in just a moment. But first, let's get to the feature. So James McGaskill, who helps run the Supporters Club, he texted me earlier today. I'd like to thank James for sending me all the videos and all the photographs which I was able to put together for you. He wanted to say a massive shout out to AFC for their amazing support and encouragement. Also to our members for their commitment and our committee for all their tireless work. The amount of goodwill messages that we've received from so many fans and supporters clubs shows what Aberdeen Football Club is all about. Absolutely magnificent effort. Right, let's get back to the game and Barry Robson's pre-match thoughts. I've just put a couple of quotes together for you. So he said, "I'm just delighted we've collected 3 more points. They are a team that's well organised and are drilled to make it hard for you, and they did that. But credit to our players, they gave us everything again today." He went on to say, "That's 4 clean sheets in 5 games now. You ask the best coaches in the world and they will tell you you cannot be a good attacking team until you're a good defensive team. It's a fact. We were that today and that helped us get the win." Let me give you some of the match stats then. So we enjoyed 55.1% possession. We had 13 shots in total, of which 3 were on target. In the game, we committed 12 fouls and we won 5 corners in the match. And just quickly, if you are watching for the very first time, I'd be absolutely thrilled if you would please subscribe to Ali Beg AB TV here on YouTube. It doesn't cost a thing. And all it does is just help me build momentum and continue to build the channel as we head deeper into 2023. We are about 40 away from reaching 2,500 subscribers, which again is just phenomenal. Right, let's open it up to you and see how you're all doing. So we'll start here. There we are. Delighted to see nearly 100 people on live tonight. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, Cal MacD has said hello and a big up to all my fellow L and H Dons. I don't know how to pronounce that. Graham Buchan has said, "Evening, hope you had a nice break." A wee break, aye, it was okay. Alexander Wallace has wished everybody a good evening. Ewan Grant, hope you've been fine. Just tickety boo, thank you. Might not have been the best looking of games, but there's nothing bad looking about 5 wins on the bounce. Tremendous achievement by the team, all things considered. Scott W has wished all dandies a very good evening. I did enjoy my break, Scott. Thank you very much. Paul Donaldson has said, "Hope everyone had a good weekend." Alan Nichol is on. Hi, Alan. "The rebuild next season won't be too bad after the 20 million we get for Duke." Yeah, it's going to be tough to keep a hold of him. Hugh Robert Clark has said, "Come on, you Reds." Al Mitchell has said, "Fit like folks. What a day we had on Saturday. Come on, you Reds." David Scott, "Brilliant weekend. Come on, the Dandies." Gregor Stevens has wished everybody a very good evening. Hugh Robert Clark has gone on to say, "Believe." Scott W has said, "That league table looks good. Brilliant turnaround from the lads. Saturday might not have always been pretty, but we got goals at good times to deflate Killy and we Deeks." Gregor Stevens, hearts are falling apart again. Yeah, I see they've put Stephen Naismith in charge until the end of the season tonight. Mr. Harmon, hi, how you doing? How good was Ramadani? Sensational. Absolutely outstanding. Also loved embodying the Killy player straight from kickoff. Yeah, did you see that? So, what's the boy's name from Kilmarnock? Who cares? Anyway, he was bamming Hilbert up just as they were away to kick off. And then as they kicked off, there was a little bit of a coming together. And then obviously we score the goal. And the lad, he does sort of throws his arms up in the air and Hilbert comes in from nowhere, stands right in front of him and gives it one of those. It was just brilliant. I've tweeted it. So if you want to see it, it's on my Twitter site. It's been retweeted many times, so I'm sure you'll see it. But just brilliant. Lee Doubles has said, "Hi Ali, hi Lee, how are you? Ramadani was superb. Didn't put a foot wrong. What a fantastic player. He's absolutely sensational, isn't he?" Rob Clark's on. Hi, Rob. How you doing? Good evening, everybody. Hope all is well. Can someone please confirm a debate at work yesterday? What is the lowest possible position Aberdeen has to finish and still qualify for Europe next season? Okay, so I think I can clear that up. I think. So, from what I understand, and please correct me if I have got this completely wrong, depending if I think, let's say for example Celtic win the Scottish Cup, so if they've got to get past Rangers in the semi-final, then if they win the Scottish Cup, I understand that will open up a 5th position, which will then be the qualifiers for the Conference League. I think that's what it is. So I don't know. It won't be if Rangers win the Scottish Cup, right? Because they're going to finish behind Celtic in 2nd place. No, I think it's because we will need Celtic to win the league and the Scottish Cup. That would then open up that 5th spot. That's what I think. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Al Mitchell has said, I had my 2 wee boys at the game, youngest, first game, brilliant. Their faces when Duke scored, 16 seconds, priceless. Those are the memories, magic. Hugh Robert Clark, I was 12 years old in 1982. I was 9 years old in January 1982. David Highslip, hi David, how are you? Can we remember in the first few games when some people were questioning Duke? Goes to show you, you should always give players time before making a judgment. That's a very good point. There we are. Gregor Stevens. Did you see Rama battling with Armstrong? That's the lad. Straight from the kickoff. Flattened him. Fraser Gunn. Good evening, Fraser. He's wished everybody a good evening. Delighted with the continued form. Love the team spirit right now. When we score, lovely to see so many celebrating. Yeah, we've been saying it for quite a few weeks now. The togetherness in the team is absolutely superb. The picture that the club media tweeted for the full-time picture with Ross McCrory sort of crouched down, giving it yes. Oh, I just love it. Erica Mitchell is on. Hi, Erica. Absolutely brilliant game and result on Saturday. Very much enjoyed the game. Duke and Miovski team up very well. They certainly do. Scott W. has said, I'm sure yesterday was the anniversary of our first league title. We beat Clyde at Shawfield 1-0 to clinch it. Was it yesterday or was it not on Thursday? I think it's the same day that we beat Watershire. Again, I could be completely wrong. Double check. Stephen Lovey. Hi, Stephen. Ramadani was different class. His work rate is unbelievable. Don't think anyone has played more minutes this season. 150 grand is an absolute bargain. Couldn't agree more. Jason Campbell. What a comeback from the Dandies. I'm loving Robson's Fitba. David Scott. Pollock and McDonald both been brilliant since they came in. Again, could not agree more. Paul Donaldson has said, thought when we went 1-up so early that it would be like the other home matches against Killie earlier in the season, but they gave us a difficult game, was a big relief when we got the second. Yeah, to be fair to Killie, they came into it, especially towards the end of the first half. Kelly had to make 2 superb saves, didn't he? Gregor Stevens, great to see Bav get 15 minutes. Yeah, Alfie Barrage, nice wee back healer, and he almost scored. That's what we keep saying, isn't it? Just give the kid a little bit more game time. I think what Barry's doing with him is absolutely spot on. Don't remember, Barry's been with him all this time, seen him grow up, so he knows exactly what he's going to get. But yeah, I agree. Just drip feed him. That's what I think. Fraser Gunn, we need to sign McDonald up soon on a deal. I agree. Noel Blaha from the States. Hi Noel, how you doing? Clarkson's deliveries were delicious and he's playing much more physically. Could easily have gone down in the one break in the box, but stayed up and kept on. Quite the talent. Yeah, he's brilliant. It's interesting to see some of his comments that he's absolutely loving life in Aberdeen as well. Loving the fans. Yeah, I've just got a horrible feeling he'll go back. Well, he will go back come the end of the season. You never know. Might try and get him again, but I can't see it. Alexander Wallace, nothing less than 3 points required on Friday to cement our position and demonstrate the change in team mentality. Jason Campbell, special mention to the Ultras. As an old fart now, it makes me proud to see the current crop of young lads do the club proud by generating such a great atmosphere. Yeah, again, I could not agree more. And I've said it a couple of times now. Go, if you're on Instagram, if you're down with the kids and all that, check out their page. It's the Red Ultras. They post some fantastic stuff right from in the middle of that sort of crux of fans. And it's just great to watch. I love it. It's just great to watch. Bruce McKenzie said, some of the members of Lewis and Harris Club have not made it home yet. The ferry is broken down in Ullapool. No way. Oh, dearie me. I hope they get home soon. Scott W. I really hope we can hold on to as many of these players as possible for next season. The spirit in this squad now is incredible. We might lose games, but we won't surrender them. Good point. Al Mitchell is asking a question to you all. Barry is my manager. Who else could do better? I agree. Kaiser's on. How you doing, Kaiser? He's wished everybody a good evening. Gregor Stevens is also talking about the Ultras. The Red Shed is top. Not as ace as the Beach End was in the 70s, but still looks great. Suze has said, great to see a big crowd and shout out to the young Reds in the shed. Atmosphere was fantastic. Hello back, Elliot. How are you? Simon Roy. Hi, Simon. Fit like Ali and Troops. Barry really has turned things around. I would give him a 12-month rolling contract now. Okay. Kaiser has said, does anybody know how the barriers with the banners on them in the Red Shed was taken down? No idea. If anyone can shed any light on that, excuse the pun, let us know. Elliot has said, I wasn't able to see the game, but I saw the highlights. Duke is class, and a perm team will pro-sign him, and a great support. Gregor Stevens, Danny Armstrong, that's the boy that got bammed up from Kilmarnock. Graham Buchan, hi Graham, how are you? Kelly Roos is a brilliant keeper, but I wish he would stop trying to beat players with the ball at his feet. Please just clear it. Yeah, he gave us one of those heart in the mouths moment, didn't he? God dear. It's the first rule of goalkeeping, isn't it? Just clear your lines. It's the first rule of defending. Just clear your lines. If in doubt, stick it in the stands. Kaiser said, I see we've sold out our allocation for Dingwall. Have we really sold it out already? Wow, I haven't seen that. Best support in Scotland. He's gone on to say, third is not for giving up. Agreed. Michael Robertson. Hi, Michael. A rare treat for me tonight. I like the Monday night or midweek shows. I don't get the chance to watch the one straight after the match because we're usually still travelling home from the match. Well, I really hope you're enjoying the watch tonight, Michael. Don't forget, you can always watch these shows on catch-up. So even though it's a live show, once it's finished, it automatically goes on to the page. All you have to do is just click on the live icon and you'll see it all there. And I think it comes on top of the old YouTube page anyway. So it's always there for catch-up. Roger Smith has said, if we manage to finish third, hope we can keep Duke and Miosky for our Euro adventure. Do you know what? I think no matter what happens, if we do qualify for Europe, I think the boys will stick around anyway. Look, we don't know what's going to happen, but I just think that they'll want to see how far they can take it with Aberdeen. I don't really doubt that. Unless someone comes in with stupid money, of course. Okay, Gregor Stevens has said, I don't think it matters which Glasgow teams wins the Scottish Cup. Fifth then qualifies. Okay. Roger Smith has said, McInnes for Hearts. Can't see it, Roger. He's still with Kilmarnock. Ewan Grant, clarification on Europe position. Celtic or Rangers can win the cup and it opens up fifth. So if so, third guarantees group stages in conference if don't manage Europa League. Fourth and fifth equals Conference League qualifiers. Brilliant. Thank you, Ewan. Okay, Malcolm Youngson is on. Hi, Malcolm. How are we going to replace Clarkson when he leaves? It's a good shout. It's a very good shout. Scott W. Just check the date of the first league. Yes, it was the 9th of April against Clyde. Glenn penalty in front of 15,000 fans. There we go, Scott. Colin Stewart. So we're all liking the brilliance of Duke, Hilbert and Bojan, but who signed them? Yeah? Paul Donaldson. Did anyone try the lasagna pie? That has to be the best pie of the month so far. In fact, I saw a few tweets about the old lasagna pie, and Dave Galloway from North Sound 1, sports editor, he also tweeted, said it was the best pie he's had at Pittodrie in a long time. I love how we're talking about pies. Oh, dear. Okay, Gregor Stevens has said the AFC security officer removed the flags from the front of the red shed. Jim Balfour, hi Jim. Evening all, fantastic weekend. Michael Robertson has said, yes, he watches all the shows and catch up, but it's best to watch live. Yeah, I agree. Cal MacD has said, Lewis and Harris Dons will be at Dingwall, nearest things to a local game than we have. Yeah, good shout. Wonder how many of the gang will be going over for that game. Scott W has said, I also can't see us selling Duke or Miovski. We don't need to, unless we get ridiculous offers for them. They'll be here next season. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Stephen Lyle has said, great result again at the weekend. County game worries me though. Yeah, it's one of those sort of banana skin games, isn't it? You know, Ross County, up and down, up and down. They're going to make it tricky for us. I don't think they'll come at us. I'm not sure. I think, like on Saturday, I sort of mentioned it on the big Saturday football show, that I felt patience was going to be the key. Obviously, those thoughts went out the window after 15 seconds. But I think on Friday that we do have to be patient to try and break them down. But I do think they are the type of team that if we get our noses in front, then I think we're becoming difficult to beat. That's what I'm starting to think. Because up until before Barry came in, I always felt, even if we went a goal up, I was always worried that our opposition could get back into the game because I just wasn't confident about how we were playing at the back. My mind on that is now completely different. My mindset on that is completely different now because I do think that we are so much more solid at the back with Matty Pollock and Angus MacDonald that I'm more confident that we can now actually hold on to leads. So I think if we get our noses in front on Friday night, I'm hoping we should be okay. Al Mitchell has said, I think if we are in Europe with Barry as manager, Duke and Miovski will stay for one more season. Elliot has said, if third makes us qualify for group stage in the Conference League, we need to work as hard as we can to get third. It would be massive to get group stage in a European tournament. It's something we really have to do. We have to get that monkey off our back. So many times we have failed in the qualifying stages. We've got to get into the group stage because the prize money is huge. Could make all the difference. Can't be bothered has said, I see Malky Mackay is at the Old Mine Games. Best left ignored. Bruce McKenzie, Lewis and Harris Dons have 17 members going to Dingwall on Friday. Brilliant. Kaiser, the boy White for Ross County is a big target man. May cause problems. Al Mitchell, I said, I think Jim Goodwin signed the paper that brought Duke and Miovski here, but that's it. Scott W. has said that he agrees with Stephen Lyle. Of the 6 games we had before the break, County were the ones I was most worried about. They're a gutsy wee team, particularly at home. If offered it now, I'd take a draw. Okay? Can't be bothered, has said. It will still have to be 6-a-side due to all their injuries. Malcolm Youngson is back on. Shout out for Lewis Ferguson. Got himself as regular in first team at Bologna and they're flying. Big up for Scottish football in Italy. Yeah, he's doing unbelievably well, isn't he, Lewis Ferguson? Fair play to the boy. Kevin Tom has come on and said, Duke is the boy. There we are. Right, how are we doing? 25 minutes. Okay, we are nearly done. So that's all the comments that have come in for tonight. So we'll stick it around about 25 minutes. Oh, hang on. A couple more coming in. Suze has said, anyone got a listing of who's in and out of contract for next season? Okay, so if you go to the Here We Go boys on Twitter, brilliant Twitter site. These guys are, like most of the guys on Twitter, but these guys are really good at tweeting historical stuff and also bringing us up to speed with contracts, who is up for contract, who is out of contract, who is contracted to what year, all that sort of stuff. So if you just scroll through their timeline, it will be on there. That's the Here We Go lads on Twitter. Elliot said, yeah, it would make us a lot of money, which can go to players and even the youth team if we qualify for Europe. Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Harmon, just in case he does anything for County on Friday, I'm in no way related to George Harmon. Kaiser is suggesting that Duke is the best player in Scotland. At the moment, I absolutely cannot disagree. No. Just trying to think off the top of my head, is there anybody better? In current form? No, no way. That's why he won the Premiership Player of the Month, eh? Can't Be Bothered is asking, anyone know if we had a sell-on clause for Ferguson? I genuinely don't know, but I would think that we did. I really do. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if there wasn't a sell-on clause. Okay, so big favour, please give the old channel, the show, a like tonight. It just helps with that YouTube algorithm. And also, if you're watching for the first time, mentioned it before, I'd be very grateful if you could continue to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. I find that little, that subscribe button on YouTube a little bit misleading, because for my generation, subscribe is you got to pay for something. But it isn't. It doesn't pay, you don't have to cost, nothing like that. So to subscribe to the channel just means we help build the followers. And yeah, going forward, it just means we get bigger. Kaiser is suggesting 20% sell-on clause. Okay. Right, guys, we are done. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. Thank you again so much for leaving all your comments and interacting as normal. So a couple of little housekeeping things to say goodbye. So on Friday night, we're going to do a preview show ahead of the game. So I will come on air at 6:45, 1 hour before kickoff, so we can get the team news in straight away. Now, I know that the game is being broadcast, but I'm still thinking about doing a halftime show, because I'm going to second guess this. I'm going to be very interested to see what the panel will be for the live game, and if there will be an Aberdeen contingent on the panel. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a live halftime show, so that all Aberdeen fans, if they wish, can come here and interact on here amongst themselves and talk about what happened in the first half. Now, the other thing I'm thinking about is just so that I can break the show up a little bit. I'm thinking about introducing like a commercial break into the show, just so that it means that I get a couple of minutes to sort of gather the thoughts, make sure that the broadcasting system is all working, because I'm not a big fan of sort of doing it all while you're watching. I think it sort of loses the flow of the program a little bit. So what I want to do is sort of do part one, little commercial break, and then a part two. So again, let me know what you think about that idea. Just leave your comments on Facebook, on Twitter, get in touch, usual means, and just let me know what you think. All right, guys, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you again on Friday night. All the best. Take care. Bye for now.